Life changes for men after 30. The trajectory that you're on as you approach your 30s is very likely putting you on the path to ending up single and alone forever. Your 30s are supposed to be your peak as a man. Your life is on an upward trajectory and it hits its peak right around 35. But the truth is, your friends are getting married. Your circle of friends is getting smaller and smaller as your friends get girlfriends, wives, kids. The guys you used to keep in contact with, the guys who were with you on your journey, start disappearing. They start dropping like flies. Your parents start asking you, when are you gonna give them grandkids? As your friends and circle dwindles, you start to feel lonely. You start to feel left out. And if you're not meeting the types of women who are girlfriend quality or wife potential, then you start to feel like perhaps you are gonna end up being the one who's completely left behind, alone. Despite all the success, the material possessions, the money, none of it matters if you have absolutely no one to share it with. And you slowly start to realize this reality. The thoughts, the fears start to creep in as you get older and older and older. First you're 28, then you're 29, then you're 32, then you're 34, then you're 36, and you're like, fuck, I feel like a woman because my clock is ticking. My sperm isn't gonna be as strong as it once was. I'm not gonna have time to have a kid and still be the young cool dad. I'm fucking 34. And the most common reason for this is your excuses, your lack of professionalism in this area of your life. You've never taken this area of your life seriously. You've never given it the time, investment, energy, and effort required to get real tangible results from it. And the fact is, as you get into your 30s and as you start to get older, one of two things is gonna happen. Number one, the most common thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna cope. You're gonna lie to yourself. You're gonna rationalize why you don't have the type of woman, the type of partner, the type of relationships with women that you'd like. You're gonna use your money, your success, your material possession, your fitness as excuses and rationalizations as to why you don't have the dating life you want. And the reason for this is because as you've gotten older, you've put bricks, you've spent years and years and years with nothing to show for it. So now you have to rationalize and justify your failure rather than look in the mirror and accept the fact that when it comes to your dating life, you just aren't putting in the work. You lack the understanding, you lack the guidance, and you lack the commitment. The most common rationalization, the most common way guys will cope is they'll say, oh, well, I don't have a girlfriend, but at least I'm rich. Oh, I don't have a girlfriend, but at least I got a good promotion at my job. Oh, I don't have a girlfriend, but at least I'm in good shape. I'm not dating the types of women I want. I'm still too afraid to talk to a woman, even though I'm a fucking 32-year-old man. I'm still too afraid. I still supplicate. I still act like a little bitch around girls. But at least I started a business. At least I did well in my job. Great, are we just listing a bunch of stuff that have nothing to do with your goals? If you can't get a date, if you can't get a girlfriend, what does the fact that you started a business have anything to do with it? How is that related? How is it even related? It's the biggest rationalization, and the fact is actually proving the opposite of what you think it is. The fact that you are rich, the fact that you are in shape, the fact that you are successful, yet you still can't do the most basic thing required of a man from an evolutionary standpoint, just shows how terrible you are with women, with relationships, with emotional romantic communication. Now, how did you end up in this position? Why is this so common for so many of the guys that I work with, so many of the guys who come to me for help? It's because you've fallen victim to a number of traps, excuses, limiting beliefs, and pitfalls. One of the most common ones I see is that you rely on your social circle as a crutch. Throughout college, throughout high school, the way you met women, the way you dated women is through friends of friends. You were in class, you went to a party with your friends, you guys all went out, you met this girl who's a friend of your friend's girlfriend. You never actually learned how to meet women in a way where you contributed to meeting her. You only met women in a way that was out of your control and in a way that wasn't scalable. What does that mean? How often are you meeting girls through your friends of friends once you're 32? How often are you meeting up big groups of friends where they're constantly gonna bring in new attractive women? If you really wanna find a woman who is capable, who is fit, who is going to bring your future child to the world, who's gonna be a good mother to your son, you want to have a huge pool of options to choose from. And you need to have the skills and ability to generate that pool of options. Dating apps, approaching women in person, Instagram, these are all great ways of generating this type of options, or this pool of options rather. However, relying on your friend's girlfriend bringing a hot girl to your party is not very, very scalable. Now, if you're rich, I have clients who will pay to throw parties, and they'll pay to have people bringing them to them. Now, that's a great way to use your money and use your success to make a scalable social circle. That's one of the few ways you can scale your social circle. But for most guys, is, unless you have a couple grand to spend every single month, this is typically not the most efficient way to meet women because you're relying on the luck of the draw. You're relying on a dice roll. Is the girl that's going to be brought here going to be the right fit for me? Is the girl who my friends, dogs, cousins, sister, is she going to be the right type of fit for me? Whereas if I'm on a dating app, I can filter based on a profile, based on a bio, based on age, based on location. If I'm cold approaching women in person, I can filter by nice establishments. I can approach women at the fancy steakhouse or at the fancy restaurant that I go to. I can approach women at the high-end upscale gym that I go to. So I'm selecting and filtering for certain types of women. Perhaps one of the most common and overly romantic lies that puts you in this precarious position as you get older is the belief that the right one will just walk into my life eventually. It will all work itself out. However, and I've said this millions of fucking times, but it really seems that guys don't get this. Your dating life, the type of woman you want to date, your partner, someone who is true girlfriend quality, you're not going to meet her by accident. In the same way, you're not going to stumble into a successful business. You're not going to stumble your way into $200K a year salary. You're not going to stumble your way into a $2 million a year business. These things require you to get intentional, to come up with a game plan and a strategy that is very likely to produce the result you want. You need to generate the inputs if you want the outputs. You can't expect an output if you don't generate the input. This is very, very simple, yet for some reason, men believe the Disney cartoon movie fairy tale that you're just gonna be going about your daily life, the perfect woman's gonna walk right in, you don't have to put in any effort, and she's gonna end up being perfect for you, and you guys are gonna ride off into the sunset. Listen, brother, we're out here right now. I watch the sunset every day. I've never had the perfect woman just ride right in. I'm unemployed. I haven't had a job in years. I haven't had a job since I was fucking 21 years old. I've been working for myself the entire time, started multiple businesses. I watch the sunset whenever I want. I don't have a fucking schedule. If anyone should have experienced a woman walking into their life, it should be fucking me. I'm unemployed. I don't have a job. This is my job. I started so many other random fucking businesses. During the crypto bull run, I did pretty well. So well that I took 6 months to a year off. I wasn't fucking doing anything. I was going on nature walks. I was watching sunsets. At no point did a random attractive girl who was perfect for me come in and walk into my life for a year straight when I was retired. What makes you think that you can repeat that over and over and over again and it's just gonna magically happen? Also, as you're approaching your 30s, you should know that you've had years, you've had over a decade of chances for this to happen. Let's say you started dating when you were 20, you're 32 now. It's been 12 years. If the right one is gonna walk in without you having to do anything, she would have showed up by now. She's not. So clearly what you're doing isn't working. Clearly we need to change the inputs if we want to change the outputs. Most men aren't willing to do the work of changing their inputs in order to change their outputs. And the reason they aren't is because it makes them feel uncomfortable. It's the equivalent of them looking in the mirror and facing the fact that they're a failure in this area of their life. And that's okay. You need to be able to have that hard look at yourself, that hard conversation with yourself, and realize that you're coming up short in this area of your life. And if you want to improve that, you need to make a big change. It's the same reason most guys get stuck in the cycle of relying on their social circle as a crutch. You're in high school, then you're in college, but then you graduate college. You're not meeting girls at parties, you're not meeting girls in class, you're not meeting girls sort of happenstance anymore because your routine is you go to work, you come back from work, maybe you go to the gym, and that's it. Maybe once a month you'll go out and have a beer with your friends, but you're not really having all of these opportunities that university used to bring you. And then a couple years go by, you get stuck in this treadmill, you get stuck in this cycle, and you're not meeting new women. And because you never needed to get good at generating options and bringing new women into your life, you never got good at it. And now that you're out of it, you're stuck, and doing the work of trying to get new ones comes with the risk of rejection, and that rejection sucks. And you don't want to get rejected, so you avoid it, and you avoid it, and you kick the can down the road and kick the can down the road, and now you're in your fucking 30s, and you don't know how to attract a high quality mate who is going to actually make you feel satisfied, who you're actually excited to go on a date with. You may be able to go on dates with girls who are, you know, kind of average, maybe a little above average, but no girls that are really getting you out of your fucking seat and you're like, fuck, this girl's so attractive, like, don't fuck this up level. Like, ask yourself that. When was the last time you went on a date with a girl who was so attractive and her personality, her character was so compelling that you thought to yourself, man, don't fuck this up. Like, let's really lock in and make sure we secure this. Most of you guys who are used to relying on your social circle are used to warm traffic. You're used to people coming to you. You're not used to cold traffic, which is essentially when you have to go out and generate interest on your own. But the truth is, if you don't know how to go out and generate interest and attraction from women on your own, then you're not really that good at dating. In fact, you suck at dating and you have zero game, because anybody can do half decently when you get a warm introduction from a friend who hypes you up and refers you to another girl and says, hey, you should meet my friend, he's great. You have all of the social proof and pre-selection of your social circle already. But now that it's difficult, now they have to go out and generate this interest from scratch. Now that she knows nothing about you, now that you have to communicate all of that value in your conversation and build it in your relationship, now it's tough, now it's difficult. Welcome to the game. This is exactly what it is. This is what it's going to require for you to find the top tier women, 9s and 10s, as guys like to say. And for my more successful guys out there, for the guys who are earning a little bit extra cash in your pocket, you're actually at a bigger risk than anyone else, because now you're a target. You're a target, you have more to lose, there's more at stake if you get into the wrong relationship, you have more assets to take in the event of a divorce, but also because you spent so much time building your life, building your success, building your professional life, your career, you use this as an avoidance mechanism. Oh, fuck, you know, I want to focus on women, I know I'm not showing up the way I should, but I'll just wait till the end of this sales cycle. I'll wait till the end of this quarter. Once things are tied up, I'll finish this project and then I'll start after that. But let me tell you what happens when that quarter ends or when that sales cycle ends. A new quarter begins, new goals, new projections, a new opportunity comes in, a change in the market that makes you want to go even more aggressive or take things in a new direction. And this way, you always kick the can down the road and you never actually prioritize setting up your dating life. You never prioritize fixing the issues, fixing the leak in the bucket. And you have the best avoidance mechanism possible, making money, pursuing your career. But the cold reality is that if you keep on this trajectory, all you will have is your career. All you will have is your finances. All you will have is your profession and no one to share it with. And for a lot of guys, that scares the hell out of you. And for most of you guys in this position, the reason you pursue the success, the reason you pursue the finances is because you want to provide that to the next generation. You want to provide that to your future family, to your future life partner. But if you don't have a life partner and you don't ever take the time to learn how to attract one, you're never going to get one. And you're going to be stuck in this perpetual loop that will leave you ultimately unsatisfied.